There could be some movement today in the Jeffrey Epstein case. Arizona Congresswoman-elect Adelita Grijalva is expected to be sworn in as early as tomorrow. That is more than 7 weeks after Grijalva won that special election to replace her late father. House Speaker Mike Johnson has refused to do so until the government shutdown is over. Her vote as early as tomorrow could be the deciding factor on the Epstein case and whether it moves forward. Scripps News national correspondent Alex Miller is live for us in New York City. And Alex, Jeffrey Epstein survivor speaking out on Capitol Hill on the steps in the beginning of September, pushing for a vote to compel the release of the government's files on the Epstein case. And it now looks like they may be one step closer to seeing that happen.
Well, it's one step closer to getting a vote in the House. Typically, the Speaker is the one who brings the votes to the floor, the bills to the floor. That is not the case with this particular piece of legislation. The Speaker has elected not to put together a vote on a bill that would compel the Department of Justice to release files relating to the investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. So instead, what has to happen is that the House of Representatives needs to gather around 218 votes to be able to do so. And until this special election, they only had 217. They had 4 Republicans supporting. Republican Thomas Massie is leading this effort, but they didn't have enough to get this onto the floor. Once Congresswoman-elect Grijalva is sworn in, she has already said she will be that 218th vote there, so they will be able to bring this to the floor for a vote. It will most likely pass because of that. And then it needs to go to the Senate, then to the president's desk for a signature or have a veto-proof majority. All of those things, Del, is unlikely, but the Speaker has been getting a lot of pushback for not swearing in this Congresswoman-elect. Democrats have been critical, saying it's because of this particular bill. Speaker Johnson says that's not the case, that he was waiting until the government shutdown was over.
And Alex, the House Speaker also says that the investigation by the Oversight Committee in the House is thorough enough, but now we're learning more about Ghislaine Maxwell. She is serving time behind bars for being basically Epstein's right-hand woman, and now a leading member of Congress says she's getting the country club treatment.
It really appears so. There are now 2 letters that have gone out, one from the top Democrat on the House Oversight Committee, which is the one doing the investigation into the files, the Jeffrey Epstein files, and one from the top Democrat on the House Judiciary Committee. Now, this letter, written by Congressman Jamie Raskin, it is 6 pages, but it contains a lot of explosive allegations allegedly put forward by a whistleblower about the treatment that Ghislaine Maxwell is receiving while behind bars in this minimum security prison in Texas. By the way, sex offenders are not allowed to be in minimum security prisons. She was transferred this summer after having a meeting with Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. Let's talk about some of these allegations. First, apparently she is having special meals prepared for her by staff, and then longtime federal employees are delivering that meal to her personally. She's been allowed apparently private meetings with visitors in a cordoned off area with snacks and refreshments, and the guests can even bring computers. And this has actually hindered other inmates from being able to receive visitors on their own. She apparently requested to play with a puppy. There's other inmates that were training service animals, and apparently she asked to have one of those puppies to play with, and that request was granted. She's been personally escorted to exercise areas so that she can work out alone. Some of those areas are staff-only areas. So there are a number of scenarios here where she is apparently receiving special treatment. And there has been a lot of frustration, not just with the inmates, but with the staff who have complained about it, saying that they are essentially at Maxwell's beck and call, and they are laying this at the feet of the warden herself, Dr. Tanisha Hill, who has apparently been the one defending and enabling these allegations, according to this letter. Some of this is that she has forced the staff to wait on Maxwell hand and foot, and that anybody who has questioned this treatment, inmates or staff, have been retaliated against. And apparently Maxwell does not want to be spoken to by anyone, and the warden has threatened that if anybody does speak to her, they could be moved to a worse prison up to 1,000 miles away. And apparently this warden has also acted as the point of contact for Ghislaine Maxwell, where she'll receive Maxwell's emails, print them out. If Maxwell wants to mark them up or send a response, she's been doing that on her behalf. Obviously, in prisons, they have to use snail mail, and that mail often gets lost, according to this letter. And this letter was directed specifically at the president, saying that Raskin wants answers on all of this, wants an answer as to whether there are discussions happening about commuting Maxwell's sentence. There are allegations in this letter that she's reportedly filling out paperwork in order to have her sentence commuted. And he also wants to see the Deputy Attorney General testify before Congress and answer questions about that meeting that he had with Maxwell, particularly questions where Ghislaine Maxwell said that she had never seen underage girls at Epstein's home in public, that he had never had any inappropriate contact. She also denied Virginia Giuffre's allegations that led to Prince Andrew having that title stripped recently. And so there are a lot of questions that Raskin wants to see answered. And then the top Democrat on the Oversight Committee addressing the warden directly, asking for clarification on whether this special treatment is in fact happening. Nobody's responded to either of the letters yet.
Scripps News national correspondent Alex Miller live for us in New York City today. Alex, as always, we thank you very much.